All right, well, this is Gus. This is the calmest Gus has been since I've seen Gus. Come here, Gus. Gus is a very high energy pit. And so we talked off camera about some creative ways of exercise, but in this video, I'm gonna go over how you can add structure to something we do with our dogs hundreds of times a day, petting them. So I usually ask the client, how does Gus ask you for attention? Does Gus paw at you or jump up in your lap or nudge you? The guardian is shaking her head, yes. So leaders tell, followers ask. So if he nudges me, he's telling me what to do. He's giving me an order. Anything your dog is doing when you pet it is what you're reinforcing. So if he nudges me and it causes me to pet him, I'm teaching him nudging me is the way to ask me for attention. But not really ask because he's telling me. So he tells me what to do and I listen. I validate that perception. So what I'd like you to do instead is next time that, let's see if you can do it. Well, I'll have a treat here to kind of mimic this, the behavior usually they give you. But usually they'll kind of, they kind of do something like that. They go underneath your hand and like just like that. So what I would do instead, let's say he was standing, it'd be better for demo purposes. So if he did that, I would say sit, sit. So I tell him what to do during what I call the command stage. Then I tell him why I'm petting him during the reward stage or give him a treat. Most people do it this way. Sit, good dog. Down, good dog. Oh, down. Poop, good dog. Come, good dog. Well, if I hear good dog after everything, I don't think good dog means one specific thing. It means everything. So what we want to do is put it in context. And I kind of have a joke that I go through where, do you speak Spanish? And they're like, no. So if I say, Piana said to you, do you know what I mean? And they're like, no. If I say it to 100 times, would that help you? No. And that's what we do to dogs. We keep on repeating it. But I can say it one more time and have you instantly understand Spanish. This is my special power. Are you ready? Piana said, what do I mean?
Drinking water.
As soon as I put it in context, you instantly understand it. The same learning principle applies for dogs. So if I tell him to sit and he sits, I pet him and say sit to label why he's getting the attention. Now, I also pet a dog under the chin whenever possible. You pet your dog anywhere you want except for here, because this creates a nose down orientation. The body mechanic of a proud and confident dog is to have his nose parallel to the ground or tilted upward. Insecure dogs, look down. The tallest point of every dog is right here on top of the head. And you see the ears go back. A lot of times his nose didn't go down. A lot of times the nose goes down. And they start practicing almost a cowering body mechanic. If he does that enough, he'll start cowering and acting insecure. So if I tell him to sit, if he sits in the 3-second window of me saying it the first time, remember, the more you say it, the less you mean it. Come over here. Let's get you up. So I say sit, sit. And then I pet him as much or as little as I want to. After a while, what Gus recognizes is I can't tell the humans what to do anymore. When I tell them what to do, nothing happens. But if they tell me what to do and I do it, I get rewarded. So I can't tell them anymore. I have to ask, and better than ask, I have to pay them for the privilege of getting some pets. And I'm going to pay for that through the currency of obedience. What will happen is Gus will start coming and sitting in front of you to prepay for the attention. Now you can ask him to sit or down. Down. Sitting and laying down are kind of more subordinate body postures, so there's an indicator of respect for you as an authority figure. If the dog won't sit, it can also be an indication of the dog does not respect, or is not, not respect you, but is uncomfortable or not relaxed in the situation. So if a dog won't sit near somebody, that's an indication that he's not comfortable. He's breathing heavy, but he's sitting down pretty easily. That's passive training. That's the next section. Okay, so basically when he tells me what to do now, nothing happens. But if I tell him what to do and he does it within that 3-second window, the first time I say it, I pet him under his chin and say the word sit. And pet him as much or as little as I want. Sit. So he's going to start prepaying for the attention. Now, I'm explaining this to a woman in Santa Monica, and she's got a little Bichon on the couch next to her, and I'm explaining this to her. She goes, well, I have a question for you. I go, okay, but I'm going to ask you to stop petting your dog real quick. And she goes, okay. But, what's the point of having a dog? I mean, it makes me feel good to pet my dog. I shouldn't have to ask my dog. What if I just want to I'm like, you're petting your dog. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, just hold off on petting your dog till we get done with this. She goes, okay. But I mean, just if I want to pet the dog, he's not nudging me, I still have to ask him to sit. You're petting your dog again. 3 times in a 15-second window of her intending not to pet her dog, she involuntarily reached over and did it. We don't realize how often we do it. Not saying petting your dog is wrong, but whatever your dog is doing when you pet it is what you are rewarding. Dogs jumping up on you, pet them. Jumping up on me is a great way to ask me for attention, which we might not mind at certain times, but we probably don't want our guests to do. And with the problem with that with dogs is if they jump up on you, that's going to be their way of claiming you as their property. Mm-hmm. He thinks he's the guard dog around here, and that's how he contributes. So basically, I came up with a watchword I call it paycheck. So if the guardian comes in, let's say I'm petting him, and she says paycheck, because she sees me petting him while he's standing. She might suspect that I forgot to pet with a purpose. So even if I did it right, I would stop petting him, tell him to sit. If he sits, I'd pet him, sit, and then I would say, actually I asked him to sit. When you opened the door, he stood up and I continued petting him, but thank you, because I do forget to pet without a purpose. It's a gentle reminder. It's not a gotcha, busted, you're petting without a purpose. Petting with a purpose is exactly what it sounds like. You're petting your dog for a reason. And sitting and laying down, like I said, are more subordinate bypassers. We're not going to do this again, especially on camera. There we go. He's trying to show me that he's the boss, and so he's going to lose the privilege of the couch as a result of that. And he's like, well, I can do it from the floor too. So I'm just hooking my finger around. I don't like using force, but I can't let him do that, because remember, not saying no is the same thing as saying yes. So then he stopped. So no punishment, no because negative attention is the same thing as positive attention. I just want to prevent him from doing that. All right, now the offshoot of that, what I was saying, the next section is called passive training. Passive training is basically rewarding the dog, come, sit. Those are two examples of passive training right there. Most of us train our dogs to misbehave. He comes to me, I ignore this. He drops the ball in front of me, I ignore it. He lays down in front of me, ignores it. He rolls over, gives his belly, I ignore it. But as soon as he starts barking at the other dog, I correct it. Or as soon as I jump at the door, I get corrected. Chew the pillow. Good attention and bad attention from dogs is the same thing. Drop. This is another reason why I'm not being allowed on the couch. So if my goal is to get your attention, and I don't care what type of attention I get, I'm going to do the wrong things. Because when I do the things you say you like, you ignore me and take it for granted. But as soon as I start barking or jumping or chewing, you immediately give your attention. So what we want to do to flip that is just to recognize him. What we're doing is we're celebrating the things that he does that we like. So basically, let's say that I'm in here and he walked up to me and sat down and I didn't see it. Remember, you have 3 seconds to correct or reward the dog. So I'm sitting here, the dog came and sat down next to me and you didn't see it, and you come out and you say, celebrate, which is the command, basically a watchword. I would turn and I would pet him and I would just say down, because he's in the down position. If he's standing, I would assume he came to me and pet him under his chin and say come. If he's sitting, pretty obvious. And so you say whatever the dog's doing. I can't ask. I only have 3 seconds. If they saw it and then I asked, I've blown that 3-second window. So basically what I do is I just narrate. Look at the dog, down, or whatever it is. And then, so basically celebrate is another watchword to help you remember doing what you want the dog to do. If you get in a habit of petting with a purpose, what will happen is the dog, like I said, will start prepaying for the attention. And both of these things communicate. I asked the guardian earlier what Gus could do to contribute to the group or make her happy, and she couldn't come up with an answer. Passive training is a wonderful way of illuminating that. Dog's like, well, she sure likes it when I come. She likes it when I sit, when I lay down. I would name all of your toys. All antlers can be antlers, but the orange thing, call that like Boney, or well, maybe not bone because you have bones too, but come up with funny names for all of your. So he brings you a toy, little elephant, call it Trumpy, or whatever it is. And so that way the dog starts to see and associate these things. And when you feed him, I have 4 dogs. I say grub, chow, feast, and lasagna. Each dog down has its own unique command word. The more that I pet him for this, and I didn't ask him to do it. That's the thing, is most of the time we ask the dogs to do things. Well, I don't feel like laying down. I'm not comfortable with this other person now. Well, if I just lay down, I'm rewarding something that I like, which makes him more interested in doing that in the future. And we will train the dog to offer the behaviors that we want as opposed to the behaviors we don't want. So paycheck means I suspect you petted without a purpose. Celebrate means you're missing an opportunity to reward the dog. Now, when he does come up and prepay for it, for passive training, or excuse me, petting with a purpose, then you have to pet him at least once. If you start doing that, stop doing that, he'll start scratching at you. And let's say I pet him and then I stop petting him and he starts pawing at me for more attention. It's probably an indication that he needs a little exercise or something to distract him. So feed him out of a snuffle mat, use the Omega treat ball, do the doggy stairmaster or something along those lines. Well, this handsome fella is Gus. Can I get a kiss? Kisses. Every time he kisses you, say kisses. I wouldn't assign a word for humping. But this is Gus, and this is what I like to call petting with a purpose and passive training. 2 great ways to reward your dog and add a little bit of structure to something you do every day, petting.